Now turn to section 2.
Section 2. You will hear a tour guide talking about the Newgrange Passage tomb in Ireland. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Good morning and welcome to the Brúna Boyne Visitor Centre. Newgrange is one of the finest examples, not only in Ireland but in Western Europe, of the type of structure known as a passage tomb. It was probably built about 3000 BC. That makes it around 500 years older than the pyramids in Giza in Egypt and 1,000 years older than Stonehenge in England. Before we start our tour, let me tell you a little bit about what you'll be seeing. Newgrange consists of a long, narrow passage and chamber which, if we imagine looking down on it from above, would have the shape of a cross. In the two rooms of the chamber forming the arms of the cross, you will see large stone basins, which are a feature of many Paleolithic Irish tombs, though researchers can only guess about what their purpose would have been. Outside of the tomb, in front of the entrance to the passage, sits the large carved entrance stone, which I'm sure you've all seen pictures of in magazines or textbooks. After all, this stone is about the most famous example in the entire repertory of Paleolithic rock art. The spirals and zigzag lines covering it are strikingly beautiful. Some of the large curbstones lining the inside of the passage are also decorated, although they're not as famous. An 11-metre-high circular mound made of stone covers the tomb, making it appear even larger and more imposing than it is, especially from a distance. The final thing I want to mention before we set off is the light box, which is an opening that you will see in the roof of the passage above the entrance, which allows the light of the sun to enter and illuminate the tomb at sunrise on the day of the winter solstice.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.
Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
Actually, I want to tell you a bit more about the winter solstice at Newgrange. The alignment of the tomb to the winter solstice sunrise is without a doubt one of the most amazing features of Newgrange, and has led researchers to speculate that the site may not have been only a place of burial, but may have had broader cultural importance as a place of spiritual or scientific significance. Indeed, to witness the winter solstice sunrise illuminate the tomb is breathtaking, and still has a deep resonance with people today. The general public are welcome to gather at Newgrange for the sunrise on the mornings around the solstice, but access to the chamber itself is limited on the solstice morning and is decided in advance by the lottery. It's proved to be extremely popular. Last year there were 25,349 entries for the solstice lottery's 50 places. But don't despair, in recent years the event has been transmitted live by the Office of Public Works to hundreds of thousands of people around the world via internet and television stations. This year's draw will take place on September 30th, and the winning applicants will be notified by mid-October. To assure that everything is fair and square, children from 3 local schools will choose the winning applicants. 50 names will be drawn, and each of the lucky winners can bring a guest. But of course, 100 people won't fit in the tomb. We have room for 10 lottery winners and their guests in the chamber on each of the 5 mornings around the winter solstice. If you're interested in signing up, you can do so at the information desk on your way out.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Pause the recording for 30 seconds.